back. Final chapter of IT chat building, and one of really the most important chapters of all. Hope things are going well for you. Hope your developers are starting to return work for you, and you're starting to see progress on what you're doing. It's always cool when things start coming together and you actually see it on a phone. It's cool to look at it in a browser, but in the phone it's awesome. So this is the final chapter. The action items for this chapter are to read the ASO book. That's the App Search Marketing or Optimization, Keyword Optimization. There's a document below. I want you to read that one. I want you to do some keyword research or have someone else do the keyword research for you. You can use Fiverr for that. I do. You're gonna need to write a press release when you actually do go live. I'm gonna give you a launch strategy as well, but you're gonna need to write a press release, create an app video, create app screenshots. We're going to talk about provisioning profiles. You're going to need to create provisioning profiles and certificates. You need to identify some bloggers that you can contact that'll give you free reviews of your app once it does go live. And to start your social media now, so that's another action item. And then finally to create an account at Mobile Action and or App Annie, and those are the reporting. That's how you're going to know who installed your app and things like that. So let's get started. Like I said, the first thing I want you to do is to read that document below. It's like ASO Ninja, and it's an ebook that this guy wrote. And it's a very informative piece, and I use it all the time, and you should use it as well. We want to do, in order to kind of rank up in the App Store after you launch, there's a series of things that we need to do. And if we do them all together and kind of do them over time, we'll keep ranking higher and higher. So it's a science, and it's kind of a slower process. You're not just going to get into the App Store and suddenly be at the top. Maybe you'll be like one in 20,000 people that gets selected to be there. And if you do, you're going to get a lot of installs. But most of us don't get that, so we actually have to work for that. So the first thing you want to do with your keyword optimization is have a good description, good keywords, and then let's look at the screen here. I want to show you some screenshots. So a lot of people are just going to find you naturally by searching for whatever your product is. For this one I'm looking at now, it's called Radius Fitness. So maybe people in the App Store are searching for fitness apps, and when they do, this may come up. This is a great listing actually. Let's just scroll down. We'll look at the description. I mean, look at this description. They're making full use. The only way you can keyword optimize in the App Store is through your description. And some people you'll see they'll have a description that's 2 or 3 paragraphs long. And then there's people like this, Radius Fitness, they've got all this long stuff in here. So the more you can put in there, the better. You don't obviously want it to be spammy or salesy, but you do want it to be long and have a lot of information in it. The second thing Radius Fitness has done very well is their app screenshots. Now, app screenshots, you could just put a screenshot of the app. You wouldn't even need the phone. You could just have like the inner, like this inner part here. And that's what most people do. But look what they did. They've kind of made this, they've made use of this whole top banner area, and they've made their own kind of ad out of this, and it looks cool. So a lot more people might just install this based on what, because they can actually see it, it looks nice, and things like that, versus just kind of a dead screenshot. The other thing that now Apple is allowing you to do is a 30-second app video. And you got to do this. You got to take advantage of this, because they're actually seeing a big increase in people that install the app from actually seeing a video. The videos themselves have to meet the standard of Apple, so they have to kind of have a certain format, and you'll need to look that up. Maybe I'll provide that in the bonus documentation down the road, because it's something that they just started doing. But there are people on Fiverr that make app review videos, and you can have them done fairly easily. Let's take a quick look at iTunes Connect. So basically what you see here on iTunes Connect is what ultimately will be your app listing page. So all the fields you put in here, your app icon, your description, your keywords, everything like that comes or goes into what would be like this, the Radius Fitness app. So I'll go back, I'll give you a good example. Um, here's Shoe Swipe again. And there you go. I mean, it's got, once the images load in, there's all the images and stuff like that. So you can see on this one, I didn't take advantage of the upper banner area like they did at Radius Fitness. Actually, we're changing those right now and getting the app video in there as well. But a really long description, you know, and just various other things that we're trying to target to there. So that's kind of how it'll work, you know, from a blank page that. And so if you look, you know, there's all this 4.7 inch, 5.5 inch, 4 inch. So you have to provide all these different sizes for your images. You can just kind of make one image and stretch it out to a degree. But for the most part, that's kind of how it works. And that is that for search marketing, app, videos, and things like that. So the next item is for is a pre-launch kind of list of things you need to do. And I'll keep it kind of short here. I think that for a pre-launch, you just want to do a couple of things, get things lined up. Obviously, you want to get a press release written, and you want to find a service that'll do that, that'll distribute it. And those are about $300, so they're not cheap, but they do, a little bit goes a long way. So you'll kind of just want to get the press release going, get that lined up, and just kind of come up with a strategy of how you're going to do it, what you're going to do on, you know, the day before the launch, the day of the launch, and so on and so forth. The next thing, you know, you want to do now, pre-launch, is to find some bloggers, find bloggers that are in your niche, and start contacting them and seeing if they would review your app or do a review. Maybe even you pay $100 and they review your app, and that'll generate a lot of traffic that way. That's actually a very good source, especially if you can get it for free, and especially if the blogger has a lot of followers and stuff like that. You can find people on groups on Facebook you might be able to contact that have a lot of members in them, and they might be able to post regarding your app or reviewing your app or something like that. The final pre-launch task that I really like to do is, you know, right when we come up with the idea for the app, is to get a Facebook group going. And Facebook has ads, and what we do is we create a Facebook group, we create an ad for the Facebook group, and then we just put it out there. So people start liking our page. So before we even launched the page, we ran an ad for class hoppers, and it was like, how many people like to work out or something like that. And all of a sudden, all these people started liking the page. And I think for like $50, it was like, we were running like $2 a day or $3 a day, and we ran it for about, I don't know, 3 weeks or a month, and we got all these likes. We got 600 likes on Facebook. Well, big deal, you know. But what we did is, once we launched and we paid for advertising to get our app to install, Facebook has a nice feature in it that, in its ads, that it'll take the people that have liked your page, the 600 people in our case, and then it finds other people on Facebook that match those 600 people. So it ended up finding about 800,000 people that matched those 600. And then when we ran our ads, we ran it specifically to that targeted group. Now, obviously, we knew our demographic was going to be women heavy, which it was, but maybe you don't really know what your market is. You know, maybe you know it's women, maybe you know it's men. I don't know, who knows? It could be, you know, men under 5'8". You never know what it is, but or what their ages are or anything like that. But the likes will basically help you define your market if you don't know, or if you don't have a list. It's just something you can do as a way to get you started. So one of the other things that Apple makes you do to get into the App Store is you need a provisioning profile, which basically means you need to publish your app from a Mac computer. You can't do it from a PC. If you have a PC, don't worry. Your developers can take care of that for you, or you can borrow your friends to do it for you. It's not that big of a deal. But there are some steps to take. Now, there's a whole provisioning profile system that you have to set up. So basically, they want your computer, they want you registered on your computer to create an app in your iTunes account so that they're connected together. The computer is connected to the iTunes account, and then they'll allow you to upload it together. And it's kind of, it's a big hoop you have to jump through. It seems like a big pain. It is a big pain, I'm not going to lie to you, but I'm actually making a companion video about how to create those certificates. It'll be like a 3 or 4 minute video, and it's just going to be my screen of exactly how to create the certificates so you can get them through and you can get things published. Even if you use a developer and you have the developer do it for you, you're still going to need to create a certificate, because when you update the app, you're just going to want that certificate. So it's kind of, you only have to do it once. Google Play has a similar certificate system, but they're really easy to set up, and all you're really going to need is the certificate and your password, and that's it. You don't need like a special computer and all these other hoops that Apple makes you do. But again, I'm going to make a specific couple of videos on setting up the security certificates for Google and Google Play, and I'll also do it for Apple, so that you have those, and those will just be kind of bonus materials, and probably by the time you see this video, they'll be up. If you have any questions, again, we can always cover that during the weekly call. So finally, let's talk about the launch plan. And you know, now that you're going to have your app and everything's ready to go and you're ready to launch it, you know, you can upload it and just expect everything to happen, right? Well, hopefully. But so once everything's up there, you can always load your files to Apple, and they have to approve it. The approval process at Apple takes about 6 or 7 days. So once you actually put it for approval, you have to wait, and then they'll approve it and put it up. Google Play, basically you can push the thing from beta to alpha to live in like a minute. So Google's less strict. Apple is very strict. So you'll just kind of have to play their game. The nice thing about Apple is there's a setting in iTunes Connect that once they approve it, you can push it live, or you can click the setting that says, you know, I want to launch on a specific date, and then you can launch it at a specific date and time. So you could always like do a press release and things ahead of it. Once you do go live, right before you go live, or a week before, find as many friends, family members, people you know. If you have an existing business, get in contact with those people before you launch. Because what you want people to do is you not only want them to install the app, but you want them to rate the app. And the best way to get ratings is to ask for them, especially from people you know. So Apple's going to see how many people, when you first launch, this is how they're going to end up ranking you. Good keywords, all the stuff we talked about before. They're also going to want to see a spike of people starting to install it. Then they're going to want to see how many of those people that installed actually used it. And then of the people that actually used it, how many of them rated. And the combination of all those things together is going to get you ranked up into different categories in Apple. And if you can get a high ranking in a category at Apple, you're golden. I had Shoe Swipe up to number 17 in the free catalog category, and I had 300 installs in one day. So it's huge. You know, if you could get in the top 50, it's going to be just a windfall of installs for you. The next thing you can do is below, I have a document of product review websites. And these are just websites that review products. So you want to submit to them. The best one is Product Hunt. If you can get on Product Hunt within a week of your launch, you're really going to see a spike. Product Hunt's a great site. It's just a daily list of brand new apps and websites and ideas that people have. And it's all industry people that are like very into like investing in startups and things like that. So if you can get on that Product Hunt, that's also going to give you a big spike, and you'll probably get a lot. So you could do a Product Hunt, a press release, kind of tying everything together. You're starting to see how you can create synergy by getting everything going together. You'll want to do some paid advertising, and whether that's Facebook or Google keywords or anything like that. So start your advertising the same day. Don't just expect all this free windfall traffic to come. You'll get some of it, but if you can combine that with paid advertising, that's more people installing. If more people are installing and using and reviewing, you can see where all this leads to. And then finally, another good one to do is to start a contest. So just say, hey, I'm going to give away a $50 gift card to anybody that installs my app in the first 30 days. And you can create a contest page just on like a web page, and you can market to that. And there below, I have a list of all the free contest sites. There's like 12 of them. So you just submit your contest, and they link to your thing, and people start installing your app because they want to win 50 bucks. And if you give away a $50 gift card and you get, I don't know, say you got 200 installs, that's pretty good That's a pretty good bang for your buck right there. So those are kind of some of the things that you want to do when you launch and kind of keep going and get that synergy really going. The other thing you need to do is you need to get and install App Annie or Mobile Action, and what those do. So when you install App Annie, you connect it to your iTunes account and your Google Developer account, so it'll know exactly how many people installed on a daily basis from Google and Apple. And then you can connect your Facebook ads. If you have other ad platforms that you're using, like Google Words or any of the other ones, you can tie that in and you'll actually see the data come through. You'll be like, oh, this is how many people installed on a daily basis from my Facebook ad campaign on an Android device. It'll also give you other stuff like how your keywords rank and stuff like that. So it's a good way to track. And then if you have Google Analytics also within your app, you'll be able to see not only how many people are installing, where they're installing from, but then your Google Analytics will tell you exactly what people are doing inside of your app. So kind of tying everything together, you'll have a good idea of what people are doing. And then on the outside, your keywords. So everything is just tying together and creating synergy to really push your app up in the App Store, get you more installs, get people using it, get people reviewing it, and things like that. So that's it for the video series right now. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, I am always available to help you succeed. I'm here to help you succeed. I'm very committed to getting your project out there. Now, I know how to develop apps, actually program apps, but what we talked about in this whole series is just all the other steps that you have to do, and it's stuff I learned along the way. And I took a lot of bumps in the road to get to this step. So I like to pass the information on to you. I hope you learned something. I hope you found this helpful. If you have any questions for me specifically, always reach out to me. I'm here to help you succeed. And I want to thank you very much for using the program, going through, and getting your app in the App Store. And congratulations.